welcome to Oak and Sea Tarot. For those of you that may have noticed, I did change my YouTube channel name. I am super excited about it, so I hope you guys enjoy this message from Spirit today. Hey guys, I'm here for a daily message. So the first card is creating personal space. So for two of these, I'm going to actually read the book, and this is going to be one. Number 19, creating personal space. We have optimistic. So optimism is the parent of playfulness. Its power is infectious. Here we go. This is sunstone, guys, which I have right here. Get you some sunstone if you're trying to feel optimistic. Tap into that optimism. Playfulness. Its power is infectious as a sprinkles joy on circumstances or situations. That's a typo. It increases the probability of experiencing success and moving through life's obstacles and is the seed to manifestation, which helps to co-create and shape reality. Oh, okay, so let's see. We've got fluorite, which was the first one I pulled out of my crystals. Fluorite, also good for optimism. Informs and guides through clarity and insight. This is fluorite. It's really pretty. I wish you could see like the different, like it looks different on the camera. Anyways, it ignites your imagination to reveal what is needed for something to flourish. Maybe that's that personal space. Maybe you need time out just on your own to figure out what your next steps are, to recuperate, to gain strength. So, and then another message for Sunstone: helps connect you to personal power, inner strength, and radiance, igniting new opportunities. And then we have connect to source. Go within to discover what needs to be done. Create the shift to attract what you want. That's number 47. Which I think is 11. 4 plus 7 is 11, which is 2. You and source. Okay, and then we've got foundations and achievements, number 4, which I think this is pretty similar to the 10 of Pentacles. We're talking about manifesting, guys, Pentacles. I mean, you can manifest any of the suits if we're being honest, but, or any of the elements. But with the 10 of Pentacles, it is about material things, right? It's foundations and achievements. It's a partnership, their kid, they're staring at their house, rainbow over the house. It's a feel-good energy. It's a look at what we've done, look at all the hard work we're reaping. What we've sown in a beautiful way. And then we have balance, which says, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. Judgment to yourself or towards others. I know a lot of times taking space, especially if you're with people that aren't used to you doing that, can be uncomfy and maybe not received well. So it's really important to balance your scales out, know when you're burnt out, when you're not feeling so optimistic, could be a good sign. And just reminder to tap back into source, into that infinite well of rejuvenation. Okay, so we got 2 cards that came out, the 9 of Wands and the Chariot, creating personal space. With the 9 of Wands, I think that maybe you have been in a situation where you've needed to be defensive or defending your honor, maybe even your space, right? Your independence, your individuality. And with the Chariot card, there is a drive. There's something driving you more than you might even be able to understand, and this is pulling you into that personal space. It's not quite the Hermit, but I do feel like it's important to cut out time every day for yourself in spirit. We are co-creating, you guys. Like, I feel like I need to make a whole nother channel just on like your mindset and stuff, and in no means have I perfected this skill. But there is a something driving you. It's not something, it's spirit, but I just feel the two different horses or the chariot, right? It's like one of them is you, one of them is spirit, and you're both pulling, and like it's like centrifuge kind of energy, but you're both working together to get to a common place and goal and purpose, right? And right now, what's really important and what's going to keep you feeling playful, optimistic, strong, being able to get up every day and co-create, and being able to get up every day and connect to source, and being able to get up every day and lay the brick and mortar of your foundations and achievements, and get up every day and cut out, put on your calendar time for you. However much time, doesn't matter. It's the intention behind it. It's very important. It's not really shouldn't be looked at something as like a chore or something I need to check off my to-do list. This is like fueling your mind, your manifestations. It's only going to bring you closer to the foundations and achievements that you desire, that make you burn in a good way, right? Make you light up. So with the optimistic card, Spirit, anything from the tarot? Any other things from the tarot? We'll take this one, optimistic. The Queen of Cups. Okay, cool. So yeah, keeping your heart open. The Queen of Cups, I feel like is, I was going to say very optimistic. I do. I feel like she is very optimistic, but also just nurturing, knows how to take the time out for herself, knows how to balance her own waters, which is, if you have any water energy in your chart, you guys, like, you know, my moon is in Cancer. Boy, do I need to take out the time. I feel things hard as heck. And it's really weird. I think sometimes you're able to see someone else and know, pinpoint, okay, this is how I can see how they're feeling because of this, and that, and this. But when you're in your own murky waters, they don't even have to be murky. It could just be, you know, think of the ocean at night. It's dark. If you don't have night vision, you can't see under the water. It's dark. It can be hard to maneuver through that, right? If you think of the ocean as your emotional body. So, with that optimistic energy, it's going to keep you open. It's going to help keep your heart open to new things, to, I'm hearing like shifting, change, like being able to pivot kind of thing. And it's just really important to, and by creating that personal space, to clean out your mind, body, heart. It's going to keep it, it's going to help you stay open and heart-centered and nurturing to yourself and to others. All right, connecting to source, we have the Ace of Wands. Okay, it makes me think of the burning bush, okay? Fire, right? So yeah, connecting to source, like when you do this, you are going to get so many freaking downloads, so many creative ideas, so many things that are going to well up from inside of you that you're going to feel so driven to pursue. That's going to be a part of your foundations and achievements. So this is why Spirit is really urging us to take the time out to connect with Source every single day, to be intentional about that, because like it's only there to serve you, right? Like you came here to serve others, and Spirit, the union, the communion, the communication, the relationship that you have with Spirit is here to serve you, to aid you in your growth, in your clarity of mind, in your integrity, in what you are worth, right? And what you are deserving of. It just makes me think of the sixth sense. There's just so many messages when you connect to source that are going to come to you in the form of beautiful gifts. I view the aces as gifts, new beginnings. It's a gift from spirit. And I don't feel like this is singular. I feel like I'm seeing a waterfall right now. I'm seeing the more that you hone this skill of sitting and taking time with spirit for yourself every day, you're just going to have a waterfall of like information, creative ideas, things to put out into the world that are going to be for the highest and greatest good of all. Okay? With foundations and achievements. Okay, I see this one right here. We have the Two of Wands, guys. So yes, as you do this, connect to spirit, really nurturing your physical emotions with that optimism card, taking your space for yourself, and maybe this says creating it because you need to. You might be being overbeared on, right, by others. So it's really important. Don't try to keep the peace, I'm hearing. It's not about keeping the peace. I'm also hearing you set yourself on fire to keep others warm. This is not what spirit has in store for you. So please don't do that. Please prioritize yourself. And being selfish, prioritizing your mental and emotional health, your physical health, it's sexy, it's in. It was never not in. Anybody that told you that, or that you got that impression, idea, that is not of love, light, spirit, source. It's just not true, okay? And I think we all kind of learn that over the time. But what do they say, like, cleanliness is holiness? And so that's something that I have, been really opening up to, right? And you always hear when you clean your room, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you clean your freaking room in your house, and it just helps you feel a sense of peace. Holiness, cleanliness being holiness, it's interconnected, guys. They don't just say it for nothing. But with this Two of Wands and the foundations and achievements and with everything else that's come in, is when you start to do this, you will be blessed. You will be gifted. I think you have already been being blessed and gifted, but because you haven't honed that skill, or maybe you have been, okay, but maybe you haven't, right? Maybe some of you have, and you're seeing this manifesting externally to validate your internal, and this is so beautiful. But this is also a message for those that are hesitant, right on the line of deciding to do this, not being consistent. Be consistent, like push really hard. If you didn't do it in the morning, it's okay. Take 5 minutes at night. Like all it needs to be is 5 minutes, really. But once you start to do this, like your ships are coming in. With that world in his hand, I just really feel like this is so divine. This purpose is so big. There are so many people that will be affected by this, and which is why it's so important, and which is why you might feel like spirit I was gonna say like can be harder on you, or you feel like you're held to like maybe sometimes maybe you hold yourself to a different standard and you're like, but why? Why can't I be like them or that person? And it's like there is a greater reason, you all. And you will find that out eventually. So for this balance, here we go. Okay. Ooh. The Five of Cups, guys. The Five of Cups. What's this? So I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. So, yeah, with this creating personal space, connecting to source, I was touching on this before. A lot of times when you're on a divine path, there are things and choices, decisions, movements that you have to make that can be really hard, and that you might feel like a lack or like you had to leave something behind. Number one is like you're never alone, like you're never separate from others, right? Even people that are still alive here, we're all connected. Energy is so powerful, and we really have no idea. And so you are always, we're always connected, right? So instead of looking at those cups that you had to leave behind, walk away from, couldn't come with you, they walked from you, you walked from them, whatever the situation is, as lessons, as growth, looking at it from a gratitude mindset. Thank you for bringing that person into my life, cherishing the good times, being grateful for the bad times, because it helps you grow into who you are. So for me, this Five of Cups under balance is really just a perception shift. You need to tell yourself a different story about these three cups here, whatever they are, and really cannot sleep on these two cups in the back, because mustard seed, guys, like, it's not about quantity, okay? It's about quality. So don't sleep on those two cups. Those two cups are wild card cups, and they are more than meets the eye, is what I will say. So now I'm gonna read these cards for you, and we're gonna wrap this baby up. We're gonna start with creating personal space, accepting the need to take a step back from social interactions, recognizing that we must first take care of our own wellness, and deciding methods by which we can truly take care of ourselves. This painting symbolizes the fascination of our own inner worlds, the importance of sitting with ourselves from time to time and enjoying solitude. Not time to time, guys, every day. You need to sit with yourself every day, even if it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, not from time to time. This is something, especially in the world that we live in. I'm going off on a rant right now, Spirit. The world that we live in is so congested. It's so dense. Time to time isn't going to cut it. We are constantly interacting with the outer world, and it is something necessary to dwell only in the inner world. We should be the catalysts that relax and inspire our own lives, not relying on an external source. Except for source, which technically isn't external. Our inner landscape is a place of retreat that is always available to provide new energy and inspiration. We all sometimes need to take space from others. This can be difficult due to the demands of family, occupation, social obligations, and so on. However, we can create some amount of personal space when we need it. It is always possible, even if it feels otherwise. Pulling this card indicates that you cannot solve everything right now, and that's okay. Like it or not, that's just the way it is. This is why taking personal space is so important, rather than obsessing on social interactions and issues of everyday life. It is time to nurture your inner child. It is vital that empaths create personal space and embrace it when necessary. Taking occasional space is not a sign of weakness, but of self-aware strength. Much like going to sleep every night, it's a matter of revitalizing and rejuvenating one's energy in order to better approach the world at large. Empaths are often inundated with demands and expectations from others. This is a good thing if we feel balanced and have the time to spare. When we don't, however, we must recognize that our energetic capacity cannot extend beyond our limits. And this also, with this Ace of Wands connecting to Source, foundations and achievements, it is going to be so important that you are balanced, because there will be With the Queen of Cups, I just feel like that nurturing energy with the world that I was saying in his hand and how it's just so much bigger. You are going to need to tap into endless wells of service is what I'm hearing. And so it is just so important to start now creating that personal space, getting into the habit of it, because when this hits the road, when rubber hits the road, baby, we going. And you want to be ready, okay? This is no joke. Overextending empathic energy creates burnout, depression, and disease. Let's value ourselves enough to avoid these detriments. It's important for empaths to have a place to feel safe. Everybody's living, working, and social situations are different, and everyone's psycho-spiritual proclivities differ. Because both empaths are either curious about or drawn to mystical things, it's a good idea to create a personally significant shrine or altar dedicated to that with which you appreciate and value. If you resonate with it, some sort of spiritual message or vibration is wishing to be delivered into your sphere of reality. I'm telling you, connect to source. Personal shrines and altars take numerous forms. It's up to you to determine what yours is like. This is what yours is like. This is your safe space. When taking social distance, it's not enough to check social media, tap around on your phone, or turn on the TV. These things only serve to further plug us in. Let's take the time to disconnect every now and then. They keep saying that. Taking personal space can be an enjoyable and spiritual experience. Lie horizontally, listen to calming music, snuggle a cozy animal, read a book, meditate, take a bath, or do something that lets you sit with you. It's only then that we can more smoothly come back to ourselves so we can face the world with empathic courage. Yes, yes, bless. I so agree, because it's so true. And watching TV, having like a YouTube on in the background, it can be somewhat good for sure, but like that, just really sitting in your mind. And for me, like talking out loud is really helpful. Like when I'm in the car, if I'm really going through something, even if I'm not, but if I am, for sure, I will have conversation with spirit. So it's just, that helps me. Journaling, whatever it is for you, you got to figure it out. I flipped right to this page. Desolate. I'm going to read this poem. I'll take it out. Nothing left to do here. All but used hopes and broken promises. A barren wasteland, void of life and joy. Forsaken shall be this ruin of the distant past. Other places where life thrives, you shall go. So beautiful. And with that 9 of Wands, and I said you were coming from a place where you needed to like be on the defense. That's just, I'm not going to say it's over, but you have the skill set now. You've been in enough situations where you kind of can snuff that out from a mile away. And you're not even really going to put yourself in that kind of environment. Okay. Flight. The wind of freedom blows. It calls for release of all that is caged. All the hearts buried deep beneath ice. All the souls held in depth of despair. Let your feelings soar into sky. Put your thoughts and mind on their wings. What you wish to profess, set it free. No more unsaid plea weighing down. So yeah, that feels to me like conversations with spirit, guys. Talking it out into the ethers, releasing it, setting yourself free from the burdens. That is our daily message, guys. I don't know if I'm not going to do this every day because it's way too much. But I felt called to do it today. So this is a special little treat for us both. Thank you so much, Spirit. I hope this resonated with everybody that's watching. And I am so curious to like see what comes from this like self-love that you are stepping into, have stepped into, becoming more consistent with. Like, slow and steady wins the race. All right, guys, have a great day, and I love you, and I'll see you in my next reading.